Okay, so I'll show you how to get started with IntelliJ, Scala, and SBT quite quickly and get into a testing cycle. So we create a directory, test project. So make a directory for project. This is where define which version of SBT to use. Assume you already have SBT working, so this command will run. I'm also assuming that this. We don't actually need the Scala binary here. The version that might take a bit of time. Then, once we created that, create a SBT build definition. Name project. This is enough to version 8. I'll run SBT here. I'm just gonna test the Hangouts. Okay. Running SBT is going to compile the project, and now we have also compile a compile interface for Scala 2.11.8, which is the Scala version we specified. When I run the console, I'm going to be able to just type in 1+1 and stuff like that, but it's not super useful for our use case. Yeah, so 2, press Control D. This is a Mac, but same stuff should work on Windows. Why it will work on Windows. Then we import a project, in which case this is a test project. I'm going to just build this PT. We can select this or this. That's fine. And, if we select the directory, you have to select SBT specifically, explicitly. The JDK is already selected, but by default it's actually not selected, so you need to press this and it should select the one you've installed automatically. This is quite a useful option to have. The rest you don't need to update at all. We finish, and now IntelliJ is going to load the project into Workspace. And once we load the project, we're going to actually refine the build files. So we have an app that we can run. We're going to have code definitions, which may be just pure files, pure Scala code. And we're going to use ScalaTest for that. And the app that we're going to build is going to build into a zip file and then be runnable in any platform that has Java installed, basically. Mac and Linux and Windows. That's all you really need. So it's loading the project now. You can already see that these things are highlighted. This is on a virtual machine, so it's a bit slow. There will be slowness initially when you do this because it's downloading all the sources and stuff like that, all the dependencies, but it's usually a one-off thing. Okay, in the meanwhile, I'm going to look for ScalaTest. And in ScalaTest, we're going to start. There we go. Because SBT is not a very typical type of system, yeah, some interesting stuff. This is going to be our root project, which Scala version. So then I'm going to add. I can actually complete that. Scala V, and it's also actually just going to look at Scala. And we go. Aggregate means when we run test task on root, it's going to run a test task on pure and app. Depends on means if we try to compile root, it will try to compile these. And this is going to mean that anything that's done in pure will be available in app, and pure will actually be its own app and pure are going to be their own jar files. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with this. Actually, maybe format it. Okay, happy. Now, next thing I'm going to do, native packager. This is going to be useful for packaging a wrap. Quite cheap. So if I do this, just say, that's all I need. I'll refresh the project. That's going to create source roots automatically. Oh, one thing we forgot was do this as well. Okay. Try to enable the plugin. Let's wait for it to reload. And meanwhile, you can open up SBT. No, not SBT, terminal. And find SBT in there. So since it's a virtual machine, it's a bit slow, but it's on a dedicated machine, it's a bit faster. Okay, so it's downloading. Now it's just resolving, not downloading. Okay, there's a lock. When we try to run two SBT instances, because IntelliJ is running an SBT instance and then we run it from the command line. And after this initial run, I'm gonna just start a testing iteration. I'm gonna hold all my pure code in a pure module. So it's not gonna have any side effects or anything like that in there. It's only gonna be for the app. No side effects. Okay. So the lock is gone. And now what we can do is show when it finishes. So in SBT you have task keys, which are like definitions that you inject into settings. Okay, now I can see it's creating all these roots. just gonna create everything we need. Okay, now we can actually add a test cycle. Yep, it's gonna be a new project involved. This project test app. Okay, you can see there are actually no test stats, so this means we should write some tests. Scala. Just wait for it to reindex because it's a bit slow, but once it's done reindexing, it's really useful since we can actually look things up really, really quickly in IntelliJ. It's a huge benefit. Okay, it's done that. New Scala class. SWST. Oh, please, red. Match keys arrow thread. Actually, I want to match. No, we might want to print this here. Yep. And do the same here. New name is 8. Now first generate the test. More fun suite. Okay. You can see that every time I make a change, it actually, I think it might try to run the tests everywhere. Maybe not. Okay. It works. Fail. It doesn't. Save it. Created in the right place. Oh, why did it create it in Java? It's a bug. Just move it to another directory. Okay. Still compiled, interestingly enough. Okay, now it doesn't work, so let's say red. Matches are always important, and actually, okay, we do this. It's gonna be a failed test, right? It doesn't work. Yeah, because there's no implementation, so just accept. Yes. Okay, right. actually call it lighter. Back to the test. We compile. Okay, say, oh yeah, we're happy. Now, once we go to the app, we can stop this project. So this means Scala. The app, use an object. So we can say app run. Again, it's gonna run the app every time we could change Scala source from input stream. Left. Good. Type. Probably want to do initial threads. Just to make it easier on the eye. Create a new source from an input stream of inputs. I'm gonna run it like that. Right. Is it darker? Yeah, it should be darker. I think it's because the input string might contain an end of line. So trim. Anyway, you get a point, it works. So I'm just going to terminate it because you actually can't unless we set a cancelable option. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this app. So actually, I'll do that. Maybe a bit easier to work with. So can I actually run this app without having to kill SBT? Okay, now we can say just okay. Now it's built a zip file. Go to a new terminal. Go to test app. And this is the end of the tutorial. We'd recommend that you probably go to test. I've already in test projects actually. So recommend you create a bit ignore, which would be like that. Anything else? This is useful. At the time, just see get status. So these are the files we just added. And this is it. I hope this is useful. So we shall stop now. No, this is not that window. Cool Hangouts. And we're done.